B2, The Keep on the Borderlands. Is this the greatest D&D module ever written? Some people think it is. I think it is. It's so good and so popular that they made a 5th edition conversion of it. This also includes B1, but this is a huge book, over 370 pages long. Huge. Got a lot of stuff in it, and it's all converted to 5th edition, so if you only play 5th and do not know anything about this, you can find out. You can play it with the 5th edition conversion. I think you'll really enjoy it. But why do so many of us think this is the greatest D&D module ever written? I'll make my case for it, and you can let me know if you agree or disagree. It's an introductory module for character levels 1 to 3. Dungeon Module B2, The Keep on the Borderlands for Dungeons & Dragons Basic Set. Basic, Advanced D&D, there is a difference, but it's D&D. Whether you're playing the basic rule set or the advanced rule set, it's Dungeons & Dragons, and that's what it is. I'll even show a couple channels where you can see a little more about basic D&D, advanced D&D, and even someone playing this who plays 5th edition. I'm going to show you a channel where you can watch this module be played by a group of players. That'll be at the end. Okay, this module came out in 1980, and it was in a basic box set. So everybody who bought the box set got this module. It is the most played module of all time. And then later, a later edition came out, 1980, 1981, and they made a few little changes. They changed some art. One change in particular that I want to point out, because I don't like it, so I just want to point this out. On page 13, we have the famous Mad Hermit encounter, and there he is hiding in his giant tree. And the Mad Hermit has a puma with him. And this is the module that I first had, and when I read it, I just loved this encounter, and I loved the puma. And I lost this and bought another one, and the one I bought is this one, when I didn't even know it was a later edition. And in page 13, they changed it, and I don't know why, to a mountain lion. Now, I guess that's effectively the same thing. But I said, no, it's not a mountain lion. It's a puma. Come on. So I was like, was I wrong? Was it always a mountain lion? Because I was like, I could have sworn it was a puma. And sure enough, it was a puma. So I felt better about my mind. I was like, what the heck happened here? So that's just one thing I wanted to point out. Wonderful front cover showing this fun battle. I'm told these are actually hobgoblins. We all thought they were orcs. I said, no, look at the helmet. Those are hobgoblins. I guess I'm confused. It doesn't matter though. It's a cool looking battle. This is the castle where the party will go, and this will be your base. It's a great setting. I don't want to say it's the perfect setting. It's a great setting to begin a D&D campaign. And this module is written for new dungeon masters who need guidance on how to effectively be a good dungeon master. Things that you'll learn if you read this. Even if I think even the 5th edition conversion has good instructions in it as well. And inside is the main place where the party will eventually, at some point, go adventuring, and this is the Caves of Chaos. This is a big valley that begins here, and these are 25-foot contour lines, so at this point it's already 25 feet up, and then here it's 50 feet up, 75 feet up, and 100 feet up. And so that's your valley. And if I can go to the wilderness page to show you what I mean by that, I just have to find it. Here we go. This is your world where you begin, and you can easily make maps all around this. Now, this is a very small map. One square is 100 yards. So those are 300-foot squares. So if this is to scale, that river is over 300 feet wide. That's a big river. You could just say that's just for the map. It's really only like, 20, 30, 40. It's up to you. But there's that valley right there with all the little caves. And if you come up this road, the party won't know that there's caves in a valley over here. That's something that they have to find out. That's part of it's not a story. It's not written like that. It's just everything's set up, and you have to figure out that there are caves in a valley. You don't even know that. Most people just begin the game like they're coming up this road, and they start by going to the keep, up a big hill, up that hill, and it's a cool place to explore. This is fully detailed in the module. The caves are fully detailed, and the wilderness just has encounter areas along with wandering monsters that you could run into. So there's a lot to explore. It's what they call a sandbox. This is here's your area to go adventuring in. And it's great to begin a campaign. It's a great setting because there's a lot you can do with it. And a lot of details in this module. Back then they didn't fill in a lot of details. The idea was here's the setting, you do what you want with it. You fill in the details however you want. But what's really neat about this module, which is the other reason I consider this the best module, is it's got this nice little introduction, and then you have notes for the Dungeon Master. How to be an effective Dungeon Master. Just information on how to do certain things. And again, this is all designed for the basic game. It would be, I don't know if the 5th edition conversion has different, I think it does. I think it has an updated instruction manual. It's like an instruction manual in the module. It's a 28-page module, which is bigger than most modules were back then. How to be an effective Dungeon Master, how to divide treasure, time, preparation for the use of the module. And I remember when I first read this, I just loved it because it's telling me how to do this, because I didn't know how to be a Dungeon Master. I had no clue how to be a Dungeon Master. It seemed impossible at the time. And it's not easy, but what's great about the game is even if you suck at it, you can still do it. It doesn't matter. You will still have fun. Then you've got all this nice background information, your start, notes about the keep. You've got a list of rumors here that if the party takes the time and talks to people at the keep, they'll learn things. And from here, you learn that there's a valley of caves with a lot of scary monsters in it. You can pick up all kinds of rumors. There's rumors about the Mad Hermit, about lizard men in the marshes by the river. And then the module gives you an area, I wouldn't say a detailed description, but it tells you every place in the keep. Pretty detailed for the time. I'm not sure how much different they do this in the 5th. I kind of skimmed the 5th edition version of it, but it's very interesting. Here's a list of things that the bank has for sale, the provisioner, the smithy. You got all your stuff in the keep where that you can interact. All these people that you can interact with, they'll all have information, and the Dungeon Master has to flesh all this out. He has to decide who knows what. And really, it's a lot of work if you want to do it right. And I kind of did it half-hearted back in the day because we didn't really know what we were doing. But here's your tavern with a menu, everything that's on the menu. People of importance here. Just all kinds of neat things inside here. And then you get to the adventures outside the keep. And that is just, there's 4 detailed encounters. In the conversion, there's like 10 or 12. So they just expanded on it and did a whole bunch more. And then you get the Caves of Chaos. And that's that guy. That's those guys over there. So that's the Caves of Chaos. It gives you information, notes for the DM. And then you have, first one, the Kobold Lair. And there's all kinds of great monsters in here to fight. And again, you have to decide how detailed you want these rooms to be. There's not a lot of detail. For instance, first room, guard room. 6 kobold guards attack on first round as they have javelins to hurl. They each carry D6 silver pieces. One will run to alert areas 4 and 6. The guards will be alerted by loud noises. That's all they tell you. It doesn't give you, you have to fill in what else is there. What else do I want to know about those kobolds or these giant rats? It'll give you a little description sometimes. Let me see if I can find one that gives you a little information. Nah, it doesn't matter. The door is locked. This place contains various sorts of dried and salted meat, grain and vegetables in sacks, boxes and barrels and piles. There's also bits and pieces of past human victims. There's nothing of value here. So it's little things like that, and then you have to fill out in the details. But also, in this module, you get, for your beginning players who are just starting out the game, this is for the basic game back then. Here's some spells that you need. Here's the tables that you need all this information, your supplies to purchase. It's all contained in this module. Here's the wandering monsters that you can use as the dungeon master, things about turning undead, everything. This is all for the table for attacks and everything like that, which I don't think they use tables in 5e. There were nothing but tables in back in the day. That's all it was. The game was lots of tables. But then it goes through each cave system and all the rooms and what's in each room. And that's, again, it's very sparse. There's not a lot of information. Gary Gygax wrote the module and said, here's the setting. You fill in the details. You decide what you want to do with this. And there's so many things you can do with this. You can detail it a lot. You can make this thing 4 times as big as it is right now if you want to take the time to do that. Then they've got fun little pictures. Like that's one of the toughest monsters in the Caves of Chaos, the dreaded Minotaur. And finally we get to the final place, and I'll go to the map to show you that. But then just real quickly, here's stuff on non-player characters, designing floor plans in the keep, like what do the places look like, tips to the players. There's even a glossary in here for terms. It's just fun, and there's a couple of floor plans, and they even give you a blank sheet of paper to make your own floor plans. And in the back, you can write all these characters up as non-player characters. You'll have them all on a little sheet. It's just a neat idea. But the caves, as you see, this is a valley, so this is sloping upward, and you get further back here, it becomes more and more dangerous, and you can learn that through the rumors. The party can learn it, and then you've got a keyed thing for everything on the map, letting you know what everything is. And so the final place you want to enter is K. You don't want to start there, but you could. The party could go in there first if they didn't get enough information. They could end up there not knowing that that's the hardest place to take on. So this is a very dangerous module. It's very difficult, and only a well-prepared party who takes the time and really talks to people and learns all about what's going on around here, namely that there's this big valley of caves and all these monsters are attacking people on the roads. That's really the problem. But there's just rumors as to where are these caves, and are there really caves, or what is there? So people have rumors because people spread rumors because nobody really knows, and that's the whole point. You have to figure out what's going on and where is this threat and can we eliminate it. And I love the cover, not the cover art, the first page with the great art with the combat with an owlbear. Very, very cool. Now they're kind of giving it away when they show that, but the idea here is that only the dungeon master sees this, so you wouldn't know. But that's a very cool combat, I think. Very, very cool pick, I should say. Anyway, that's the Keep on the Borderlands. I think it's the best because of the setting of what you can do with it. It's the perfect place to begin a campaign. But I did want to mention one other thing, and that is my book. Because while this is a fun thing to play, my book, and I just wanted to mention this, is Dungeons & Dragons in story form. And there are illustrations in the book. And I'll just show you one. And there's Lightmane. And there's like maybe 10, no, there's like over 20 illustrations in this book. But I've narrated this on my channel. If you go to my channel and click on playlist, you'll find book 1 and book 2 of Forestera's Fate. And there's a reason I'm connecting that with this. You'll eventually see why. And I think you'll enjoy listening to it. If you like Dungeons & Dragons, if you like The Keep on the Borderlands, for those of you who've played it, definitely give this a listen. Listen to my narration and see what you think of it. The first chapter is an introduction to the story. It's basically going to give you background, like you're getting ready to play D&D. Everybody's gathered, and here's the information that you know. And then it starts with chapter 1, and here's the basic setup for the story. If that interests you, I'll just put it there so you can read it, assuming I can get the focus. There we go. I've also got, you can look at pictures of all the characters, all the main characters in the story are in a video I just recently made it, so you'll see it if you just go to my channel. I hope you check out this module. Now I'm going to show you a couple things. I said I was going to show you a couple channels that will, if you like this kind of Dungeons & Dragons, the basic game, first edition, advanced, if you'd like some more information, and if you want to see somebody play this, I will show you some channels right now. All right, the first one I wanted to show you guys, this is Tabletop Bob. Then he took them through the Keep on the Borderlands. Now it's 5th edition. They blended old school with new school with the character creation. They went more of an old school route. But this is long. This is 58 videos. And as you can see, these videos are usually around 2 to 2.5 hours, most of them. So this is a long campaign, and it's just the Keep on the Borderlands. So I don't know how that all went down. But I did watch some of it, and it was fun. It was fun to watch them go into the whole thing. So if you want to, if the Keep on the Borderlands interests you, and you'd like to see some actual playthrough, even though it's 5e, Bob's a really nice guy. All the guys playing were very cool. I highly recommend it. If you like to watch people play D&D like this, it's not a big thing for me, but I like to watch it a little bit, you know. If you are looking for a first edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons guy who knows the game inside and out, the Dungeon Delver is who you want to check out. He does live, I'm going to click on live here, every day, Monday through Friday. He does a live stream. They play Advanced Dungeons & Dragons First Edition live on the channel. They do that once a week. They also play Gamma World. I think they've played Traveler, and they play other things too. And he has a bunch of different videos that are, you know, things going on in the D&D world that he talks about and shares information to keep people updated on stuff. Very cool. Bill Sylvie is his name. Highly recommend it. Go check him out and tell him I sent you, because that way he'll feel indebted to me. I'm just messing around. And last but not least is the Dungeon Minister. His head is actually a D20. Nobody knows why. Some magical curse, I guess, that happened to him. But here is his BECME D&D campaign. 94 videos. Okay? This guy plays BECME D&D, not on camera. He plays with his family, and his videos talk about how the game went. So you get to hear it, and it's an ongoing story, basically, that is developing. We all know the characters really well, those of us who follow along. It's very, very popular. He's very entertaining. He's quite humorous. And I'd play the first one, but that's okay. I won't. In which we begin, episode 1. Watch that, if nothing else. If you do nothing else with this channel, watch episode 1, and you'll know at that point if you're interested in doing more. And it's my cat meows here. So that's all I wanted to show you guys. I hope you will give a listen to my story. I think you'll really enjoy my narration. I do use music as both intro and outro music, along with background music. It's other than the introductory video, though, it's a blank screen. The introductory video has 2 maps, and it will show you different things that I think you'll enjoy. The book 2, my second book, has only the first chapter is a blank screen, and after that I started adding visuals as well as intro and outro music and background music. And if you are a fan of Roger Zelazny and the Chronicles of Amber, I think you'll find book 2 to be most interesting. I'm considering possibly reading the Chronicles of Amber at some point here. I don't know if I want to try to attempt that. That's a huge undertaking. Just thinking about it. I'm considering about reading the B2, the Keep on the Borderlands. If that is something that people would be interested in, I could consider reading that module to give you a better feel for it, along with the changes that I made to it. We could compare them side by side, because I went through it and changed all the rooms to my satisfaction of how I wanted it to be. Yeah, I fleshed it out, basically, is what I did. So if that interests you, I could make a video like that. Just some ideas. I hope to chat with all of you in the comments. That would be really cool. Talk to you all later.